In school, when you got a failing grade in a subject, it was really for one of two reasons. Either you didn't care or you didn't understand. Let me delve into those things a little bit more. If you didn't care, it's generally because the subject had no relevance to you either now or in the future, or you just really didn't care about the impact of a bad grade. When my younger sister entered college for her first year, I made the mistake of telling her that her GPA made no difference unless she was planning on going to law school or medical school. I got into a lot of trouble from that from my parents. If you didn't understand, it's generally because the teacher either was unable to explain it to you in a manner that really made sense to you, or you just didn't ask for help. And that's oftentimes because you're too nervous or you don't want to appear like you don't get something. Either way, whether you don't care or don't understand, the way that it shows at the end is by your grade. Now, when I was in college, I will sheepishly admit that I had a situation where I didn't care and didn't understand, and that caused me to get a D in my sophomore year accounting course. Why? Well, I didn't plan on becoming an accountant, and so I really didn't think that I needed to spend a lot of time learning those things. And I also didn't care enough when I didn't understand things to actually get help. The result, my first D ever, having to show that to my parents, which was absolutely horrific, and I got the wonderful opportunity to retake that class the next year so I could erase that grade. Now, the only silver lining on that was that my best friend got an F in that class, and so she had to take it again with me the next year as well. So we were both miserable. But in business, we don't get a grade, but we can tell whether our business is going to be accepting and accelerating or whether it is failing. And the way that we find that out is generally by our financials. And your financials, you will see based on your revenue or your profit or your loss or however you are computing your numbers, those are the things that are telling you if you're getting an A or if you're getting a D. The only problem with the financials telling you whether you are accelerated or failing is that they are lagging indicators. By the time you understand what grade you're getting in business, it's generally too late because you don't see those numbers until you're a month out or a quarter out or sometimes even a year out. So we have to learn what the leading indicators are. And one of the things that we know that makes businesses more successful is productivity. Productivity oftentimes can be a very strong leading indicator of where you're going to be in your business by the end of the quarter or the end of the year. But what are the productivity leading indicators? What is the thing that will tell you your productivity grade? Well, there is one answer to that is very simple, and that is completion. The number one reason why businesses and entrepreneurs fail at productivity is because they do not complete tasks. They become the bottleneck. They slow things down, and nobody else can catch up and push things along. That is why things get pushed out and goals typically don't get reached because things are put off and too many things go incomplete. So, if you want to stop failing at productivity, you need to just ask yourself one question. How often am I not completing the tasks or the projects that I am intended to do? Take a look at your task list. Take a look at all the piles of things that you have on your desk. Take a look at your calendar, and those things will tell you if you're putting things off or you've started something and you haven't finished it. And then all you have to do is ask yourself a couple of questions. The first is, what do I need to do in order to finish this project or this task? And the second question is, what is the impact if I don't finish it? Those two simple questions will get you on track so you can start to get a good grade in your business and not get a failing grade. So use those two questions so that you can make sure that your business moves along at the rate that you want it to. The speed of the leader is what really helps the pack to move along. So ask yourself the right questions and make sure that you don't fail at productivity. In the meantime, make sure you laugh a lot and learn a lot. And if you dare to share a story about failing, go to our Facebook page at The Quest Source, and we'd love to hear.